start with a review of the newspapers. Let's take a look at the Standard newspaper and some of the headlines. Dusano slams Essa Fall for snubbing Barrow to work with opposition. And of course, government yet to receive promised COVID-19 funds, says the Finance Minister Mambrou Njie. And Gambian British police detective dies of COVID-19, and Gambia records a 10th COVID-19 case. Let's take a look at some of these stories in detail. The story on the front page says the UDP to go to court over Brikama Area Council chairmanship unless. And of course, impeccable sources have told the Standard that the UDP is about to file a case in the court to seek a resolution to the impasse surrounding the fate of Srifo Sonko, the chairman of the Brikama Area Council. Last month, the UDP expelled Chairman Sonko from the party, which automatically rendered his elective office vacant in accordance with the Local Government Act. However, Mr. Sonko is still staying put, and the Independent Electoral Commission, which is obliged to call a by-election for the position, is yet to do so. Presidential advisor Dusano slams Essa Fall for snubbing Barrow to work with opposition. Dusano, an advisor to President Barrow, has criticized the private initiative of the Truth Commission's Essa Fall for failing to work with President Barrow in the fight against COVID-19, instead choosing to work with what he described as the opposition. Government yet to receive promised COVID-19 funds. The Minister of Finance, Mambrou Njie, has said that the Gambia government has not yet received a single dalasi from the International Monetary Fund's approved COVID-19 support. He was quoted saying, "Not a single dollar has reached the source of the Gambia." Yes, it is true that the IMF did approve a finance for balance of payment support of $47 million US. He said this is specifically for the augmentation of our reserve in case we have a deficit. This means those funds will not be remitted to the coffers of the government, Minister Njie said. Man's hand cut off in street fight. A young man named Chorno Suleiman Jallo had his hand cut off with a machete during a street fight at Serekunda, London Corner last week. In a video seen exclusively by the Standard newspaper, the neatly cleaved wrist of Jallo was seen hanging by a thin skin. One Aziz Ndao, who is believed to be mentally unbalanced, was said to have carried out the abscission. And of course, the Standard has learned that Ndao has since been charged with assault causing grievous bodily harm and is awaiting a trial. Jesus, Essa Baji, redeployed as URR police chief. Essa Baji, a former Inspector General of Police, widely known in the Gambia, who was appointed police crime management coordinator in early February, has since been redeployed to Basse as the regional police commissioner. Police spokesperson ASP Lamin Njie confirmed this yesterday. And of course, the Standard is reporting that a Gambian British police detective has died as a result of the coronavirus. Gambian-born John Coker, a serving London detective from the British Transport Police, has tragically died following symptoms of a coronavirus. Detective Constable John Coker, 53, was admitted to hospital after falling ill on Sunday, March 22nd. That's it for the Standard newspaper. Let's take a look at some of the stories on The Point. Gambia registers 1 new case of COVID-19. Foreign Ministry deplores reported abuse of Africans in China. And of course, Honorable Mai Fati urges a pursuant of a best foreign policy interest. And government spends over $143 million in fight against COVID-19. Let's take a look at those stories in detail. Gambia registers 1 new case of coronavirus. The Ministry of Health yesterday confirmed 1 new positive case of COVID-19, bringing the total number to 10. Out of the 10 positive cases of COVID-19, the Gambia has recovered only 1 death, a Bangladeshi who was tested positive of the virus after his demise. Foreign Ministry deplores reported abuse of Africans in China. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, International Cooperation, and Gambians abroad is deeply concerned by reports it has received on the maltreatment of Africans, including Gambian nationals in Guangzhou, Guangdong region in China. According to the reports, Gambians and other African nationals have been subjected to forceful eviction, quarantine, and multiple compulsory tests for the coronavirus by local authorities. And finally, Mai Fati urges pursuant of best foreign policy interest. Former Interior Minister and President Adama Barrow's advisor, Mai Ahmed Fati, has argued that the Gambia must continue to pursue a foreign policy that he was quoted best serves and protects our national interests. Mai Fati was speaking in an interview with the Point newspaper in which he said the country should continue its diplomacy to advance and achieve its domestic interest abroad. Mai noted that China's entire development package for the Gambia is not worth risking the dignity of a single Gambian. Government spends over 143 million in fight against coronavirus. Mamburan Jai, the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, has said that as of April 16, the Gambia government has spent $143 million on hotel, food, and other logistics for quarantine patients and purchased various medical consumables. He added that the balance as of now is 368 million out of the 512 million made available. Finance Minister Mamburan Jai disclosed this during the daily COVID-19 briefing in Banjul on Saturday. That's it for the newspapers. Let's take a break, and when we are back, we'll be joined by Mr. Mamadou Sabally, economist and author, who will be talking to us on the economic impact of the coronavirus and other related issues. Welcome back, and now we are joined by author and economist Mr. Mamadou Sabally, who will be discussing the economic impact of COVID-19 in the Gambia. Welcome to the FAT Network News Review, Sabs.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
First off, a lot of, let's say, loud government officials seem to have disappeared at a time when they are mostly needed. No, it's not funny. At a time when they are mostly needed, in this country. Every once in a while, we see that they reappear again, doing photo ops and holding, huge checks, whatsoever that is. Generally, what is your impression on the response of the government in the fight against COVID-19?
Well, it's quite interesting how you opened it up with the disappearance of top government officials who've been yapping all around. All of a sudden, they're nowhere to be seen. It's a sign of the incompetence of the government at the bojo nature of this administration. I think the government response has been really bad. They were late in coming, even when they came. And commitment and the self-reliance that's required to tackle this menace. The first thing is the government acted late. That's why we had cases in this country. Because when the coronavirus started, Barrow was campaigning around our country, inaugurating Yaya Jammeh's projects, because all the projects he inaugurated were Jammeh projects, and I stand by that. I can't defend it anywhere. And meanwhile, people were complaining on social media, close the borders, close the schools. Barrow, he could not care less. And then he comes, then he closes the border. Up to today, we know that people are coming into the Gambia.
People are still coming into the Gambia. People are still living.
What kind of government is this? Even when you come late and you take steps, even those steps are haphazard. So communication-wise, we remember when Barrow made his statement after social media knocked on his door, like pounding on his door to come out and talk. He talks less than an hour, his health minister comes. He says there is no coronavirus, his health minister comes. We have one case. So even the communication, if you can talk, if you can communicate with your people, what else can you do for them?
There's a breakdown in communication, it seems.
The communication was late, haphazard, and the people of this country don't trust this government. That's very clear. There are contradictory statements, press release today, then another press release to explain that press release, and I mean, it's just sad. At the very least, they could have spoken to, Barrow could have spoken to the people, assure the people, because this is a physical disease, we know that, but the psychological effect is even worse. People are worried, people are scared, and you can't even talk to your people.
It might be hard because anytime he tries, people make fun of him.
Of course, if you can't stand the heat, you move out of the kitchen. He wanted to be president. He's beating his chest that he killed the lion. If you kill the lion, why should you be afraid of words? We are not shooting him with bullets. People have every right to talk, and they should talk some more.
Financially, we've had the finance minister say that government have spent over 143 million in the fight against COVID-19. So one might be tempted to ask on what, but I guess that's a question for the finance minister to answer. I mean, what do you make of this?
I think the finance minister should be ashamed of saying that in the first place. It's nothing, it's a drop in the ocean. And it shows the lack of ambition and lack of commitment of this government. Because this government should have spent more than $1 billion right now. They're spending 143 and we don't even know what they are spending it on. Maybe it's condoms. We saw that out there. They said their budget included condoms. I don't know how reliable that is. 143 million, you can't even tell us what you spent it on.
I think the government spokesperson has already dismissed that rumor, if you may call it. Oh.
Well, we saw a budget on social media. So if he dismisses it, fine. But where did the 143 million go? That's
the main question.
Yeah. I mean, it just shows that these people, they are not serious, they are not committed. And it started off when President Barrow came and said, out of the blue, President Barrow has approved 500 million. He didn't tell us where the money is coming from. He didn't tell us where it was going. Again, it was thanks to the Democratic Republic of Facebook. I salute you. You guys are real heroes. When they made the noise, then Mambure came and started saying that's where this budget issue came, where, I mean, allowances and, and people got mad again. And then this government has not spent money for the prevention or the containment of coronavirus. I am not convinced until I see a breakdown of where the money went. Maybe they shared it as allowances amongst them, the cabinet ministers. That's possible.
Do you think we will ever see a breakdown of what that budget, what they spend that money on?
Knowing how they react to the Democratic Republic of Facebook, the decibels are going on. So I think they'll come back again. Again, it would be late, but they will come back and create some kind of a breakdown. I'm sure it would not be true.
And countries like Senegal, of course, have come up with strategies to provide relief packages for Senegalese nationals. Yes. In the case of the Gambia, it seems there is no clear-cut strategy. Do you think that the government has any idea on how to go about it?
Well, I made a social media post the other day that President Barrow has given us ample evidence that he cannot run this country and he doesn't care about the people who voted for him. Because since this thing has started, there has not been a single measure to relieve the burden of the macroeconomic effects of this coronavirus. We know countries like Ghana, they've waived utility fees. Senegal, they have a budget not only for the Senegalese in the country,
but outside,
but for the diasporans. Don't mind the politics that their ambassador is playing. I don't even know what he was saying because Mandingo Fadara. So Senegal has a budget for people in Senegal. They have a budget for people in the diaspora. Gambia has done nothing. Mambure Njai, after telling us that GDP is going to crash down to 2.5% growth, as opposed to the 6.3 that was projected, he goes to the National Assembly and he does the Lebon Lupin. If we give a bag of rice, oil, and I don't know what, to every family, we'll spend 800 million. If we give it to half, we'll have 600 million. And then what's worse, our National Assembly members sat down there and didn't lift a finger. I am so disappointed. Mambure should not have left that assembly without telling the people's representatives What was government going to do? Nothing was done. And you see, the people are suffering. So now, in the world, everywhere, even Donald Trump, the craziest of them all, is sending checks to Americans to relieve the pain of this macroeconomic crunch. Gambia government, you've done nothing for your citizens. But you come up with emergency laws, lock down markets, arrest people for selling. The other day, somebody was telling me, in Tangier, the women at the seaside, they were trying to sell fish. The police were running after them with guns.
Yeah, but they are opening the fish meal factories along the coastline. So what sense
exactly. So these people, instead of helping people, they are oppressing people. And Mambure is saying they've not received a butut for COVID support. And it shows the slave mentality.
Is this a time for that, actually? Because I know we are so much used to receiving charity, grants, and loans. Is this the time for that?
I mean, it's the slave mentality of the system. They cannot think of themselves. We have a budget of more than $20 billion. And I know because of this macroeconomic crunch and the travel ban, automatically we have savings in the budget. Where is that money? Why can't the government take out our money, tax money, and spend it on the poor and the vulnerable before thinking of what other people will bring for them? Did we vote for IMF or World Bank or ADB, or we voted for Adama Barrow and his ministers? This government has failed and have demonstrated their incompetence amply in front of every Gambian. Gambians have an opportunity in 2021. I'll not tell them what to do.
The economic situation of the Gambia is it's an open secret. No matter how hard they try to give us what people call paper economic growth or technical economic growth, whatever that means in the in the economic world. What are we looking at, Sabally, if things are not handled rightly as far as economic is concerned?
The point is things were already bad before the coronavirus. That's the fact. This government had taken so many missteps in terms of that laughable 50% salary increase that I warned them against. It triggered inflation, forced them to increase the level of tax, burden of taxes on the people, caused us to lose one of the oldest institutions in this country, Julbro. It's because of their reckless fiscal policy that Julbro had to close down. So we had this. Even before coronavirus, a lot of business people had containers unclaimed at the ports because the burden of tax was doubled, in some cases even tripled. And inflation had started rising even before the coronavirus incident came in. So this coronavirus thing only worsened what was already bad. And because of the way they're handling it, the problem is gonna be further compounded. Because what governments are doing all over the world is what we call Keynesian macroeconomics. The economy is stagnant, there is a recession looming. You inject in cash, you commit with a stimulus package. America did it, Senegal did it, Nigeria did it, Ghana did it. I mean, I'm not saying our government should plunge $1 billion into our economy. We don't have that. But we have a budget. We have to, government doesn't even have to give money. Just waive income tax on all of you working right now. They can do that. It increases your income. You spend into the economy. It creates what we call the multiplier effect, and all the adverse effects at some level could be corrected for the economy to stabilize and then grow. But if you are, and I was shocked, I was laughing when I heard the finance minister in the House. He was saying, in fact, you should applaud us, we have not.
Oh yeah, he was actually bragging that
it's a joke. It shows that this guy doesn't have a clue what macroeconomics is all about. Even in England, where you have all these fiscal hawks, they came up with a stimulus package. And even those who were pushing for austerity as a school of thought, they applauded their Chancellor of the Exchequer. And you have a joker in our National Assembly telling us we should applaud him for ruining our economy.
What is the way forward?
Well, the way forward, I think, is for Gambians to increase the pressure on this government, because that's the only way they can. Unfortunately, we are stuck with them until 2021. They are in charge. They are doing nothing. Not a single cup of rice is given to even beggars in this country. All we see is a few incidences of people going with bags of rice in the name of the First Lady trying to capture voters. They're doing nothing in terms of support.
Do you think this coronavirus situation is being politicized?
It is absolutely. Left, right, and center. I have an article on that. Maybe it will come before the end of the week. Laminja will receive it and publish it. But Barrow has politicized it. They're giving rice only to people who are supporting NPP. The rest are left to their own. It's a terrible situation. And I think, like I said, unless government acts, it's going to get worse.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mamadou Sabally, and of course your final word to the Gambian people.
Well, I'm not sure if I have any final words. I know we are in a tough situation. Our government is not going to do what it takes, both in terms of the health measures or economic measures or social measures. This government will not do anything proper to really remedy this situation. I have seen Gambians come out and give support to each other. I think we should continue with that. Nobody has enough, but those who give from a space in their heart, and they should continue to do that. I'm really impressed with the humanitarian gestures by institutions and individuals, and I can only encourage people to do that. And also, for the people to take this COVID thing, it's a disease. It exists. This is not a joke. Those who are trying to push conspiracy theories, I tell them, I'll discuss it 10 years from now. I just want to be safe for now. I was in the provinces last week, and I know some people really, they are not taking this serious. This is serious. It's real. We know it's escalating in Senegal. And if Senegal sneezes, we catch a cold here. So it's going to come in because our government is sleeping, our borders are porous, people are coming. Let's be our own soldiers and watchdogs. Let's take care of each other. Let's advise each other. Let's keep this space. Let's wash our hands. Let's abide by the rules, for God's sake. The Amudiyefi big man akndare. I know a bakery where I go. I have my hand sanitizer always, but I use the hand washing bucket just to demonstrate to people that this is necessary. Some people, they come with their cars and go straight in, you know, because they're coming in a car or they claim they have hand sanitizer. No, it's wrong. This is a rule. We should all follow it. There's no guarantee that you're using your hand sanitizer. And if you are too civilized to wash your hand, then you should be civilized enough not to put other people's lives at risk. Let's follow these rules. This one has no discrimination because Boris Johnson had it. If you think you drive a Range Rover, you are not prone to coronavirus. Increase your prayers because you might die tomorrow. It's not going to spare anybody. That's right. Let's for the precautions and the guidelines. Thank you very much, Sabs, for coming through to the Fatu Network. Thanks for having me. Thank you very much. Let's go for a short break.
TAF Africa Global is proud to launch the Moria Gardens, conveniently located in Brufut, 5 minutes off the Brufut Highway. Moria Gardens is set to comprise of 20 fenced and gated service plots with sizes ranging from 264 to 420 meters square. Unique features include water and electricity infrastructure, solar street lights, all-weather roads and scenic gardens. We offer a 10-year mortgage plan with a 25% equity down payment in partnership with GT Bank, Trust Bank and EcoBank. For more information, please contact 376-2333 or 776-2333 or visit our offices at Madiba Mall at TAF Brufut Gardens opposite 5-Star Hotel.
If you ever think of buying good quality meat at unbeatable price, think Magilac Butchers, your only suitable solution for quality meat for you and your family consumption. Our comprehensive range of meat products include minced meat, beef slices, top side, knuckle, rump steak, silver side, tenderloin, strip loin, and forequarter. We offer consistent value, quality, and service through animals grass-fed and bred, especially for their meat. This makes the meat much more tasty, succulent, tender, and easy to cook. All meats at Magilac Butchers are halal, including for the first time in the Gambia, the new Mongolian whole lamb, available only at Magilac Butchers. Rush now and visit Magilac Butchers on Caraba Avenue, opposite the Petrogas petrol station traffic lights. For inquiries and orders, please call 7688-688. That is 7688-688. Magilac Butchers, the home of quality meat and chicken products at unbeatable prices. Your only suitable solution for quality meat for you and your family consumption.
Welcome back, and now we'll be joined by the senior editor at the Fatu Network, Mr. Lamin Jai. Hello?
Sorry, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Good afternoon, Network here at the Fatu Network. Can you please walk us through what happened?
Thank you, Fatu. Sorry, Sadio. Difficult week. This happened sometime around the 13th of this month when our CEO, Fatu Kamara, ran into trouble while trying to share something tried, but I could not share anything on the page. On the whole, what was happening was that we were all being deleted. Basically, we were all being kicked out of the page. So we reached out to Facebook, and they were able to remedy the problem.
How scary?
Scary and also troubling at the same time. This is, the leading news there, and you could really see when this page was, taken from us. You could see really to really find out what was really going on. So that tells you that goes to show the have regained control of the page, and then everything has been sorted out.
I'm glad there was so much support from the Gambian people, people who watch us on this platform. But there has also been criticism that the Gambia Press Union didn't even reach out to stand in solidarity with the network.
Yes, unfortunate as it may be, but then that's the truth, that's the reality. One would expect when an attack on the media, of course, or takes place, one would expect our organization, the Gambia Press Union, to kind of like stand to show support, to really find a way of showing solidarity and try to really find out what is going on. So I look at a few people I have spoken to or have reached out to me, called me to really ask what was the problem, why was the GPU not saying anything about this. I myself
At the page right now, but what do you have to say to the Gambian people? There has been massive support since the page was taken down.
First of all, just to thank the Gambian people. They've been out to find a way of us regaining control of the page. So really, this goes to show that this is a page, or this is a news media organization that is here to be abreast of issues, to ensure that the citizens are informed well. So we will strive to achieve today, tomorrow, and forever. So really, we thank the Gambian people. We thank everyone that this happened. So we thank everyone, just to tell everyone that we are back, and then this is the Fatu Network, their go-to news story.
Thank you, guys. That's it for News Review today. Do join us tomorrow if you can. Thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.